All right, welcome to the red common and uncommon set review for Rivals of Ixalan here on YouTube. We're starting off with Bombard. 2 in a red for an instant, deal 4 damage to target creature. Sweet. So Unfriendly Fire got a huge makeover here. I think this card is pretty good. I think this is probably just a C+. It's unlike Unfriendly Fire, like it's not always trading down in mana, like you're probably trading at parity, or sometimes you can nab a bigger creature. I think this is not a B+. No, I don't think Bombard is a B+. It might be a B-. I don't think I could be wrong, but I think removal is worse. We'll see. We'll do some stats look, but I think just like this is like Vanquish the Week. Vanquish the Week is a C+. Maybe it's a B-. It's probably going to be the best red common. All right, maybe I'll push it into B or B-. Maybe we'll go B-. We'll see. We'll see how it matches up. I think it's a C+. We'll see. Brazen Freebooter. 3, but like just removal is not as good as aggressive creatures are anymore. That just seems to be the case. Save for a few things, like Walk the Plank maybe, or Lightning Strike. But, you know, these cards are they're just fine. Brazen Freebooter. 3 in a red. Human Pirate. 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create a treasure. Now we're talking. So like kind of like a 3 mana 3/3. Kind of like this card. Helps with Ascend. Oh, you would rate Vanquish as a B+. I would not. Kind of like this card. It's still probably like a C- D+, but looks good for Grixis Treasure garbage deck that I want to draft. So probably C- D+. Buccaneers Bravado is next. 1 in a red for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains first strike, or target pirate gets +1/+1 and gains double strike. Oh, God. Yeah, this card seems very strong. What was the card that gave +1/+1 and double strike? Something Fury? It was in Shadows over Innistrad, I think. That card was not fun. Yeah, this card is going to wreck a lot of people. Uncaged Fury, thank you. Yeah, this card is very, very upsetting. This is a C+. This is maybe even Teamer Battle Rage. That's what I'm thinking of. Teamer Battle Rage. I think this is C+. This could end up being in the B range, depending on how aggressive the format is. But this card is going to be upsetting. Fanatical Firebrand. 1 red for a 1/1 with haste. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. All right, so we've got one way to mess with some X1s. A 1 mana 1/1 with haste is not great, but this is kind of cute that it can get in for a couple points of damage and then cash in for a way to shoot down an X1. Yeah, Ryan, I definitely think it could be moved into B- range. But this is not. I mean, yeah, this is Mog Fanatic. I think this is probably still bad. Though this is an aggressive 1-drop, yeah. I think this is bad, though. I think I'm going to give this a D. We'll see. Frilled Death Spitter. 2 in a red for a 3/2 Dino with Enrage. When it is dealt damage, it deals 2 damage to target opponent. This is pretty good. This seems like a solid C to me. The fact that, like, when you trade off with this, it's going to deal you damage anyway is going to feel bad. It can trade up because it has 3 power. I think this is a good aggressive creature. I'm going to give this a C. Goblin Trailblazer is next. 1 in a red for a 2/1 with Menace. That's not bad. I feel like we had a 2 mana, 2 power Menace creature in a recent set. I think this is still just like a C. 2/1 Menace for 2 seems great. Wish I had haste. I think just a C. It could be a C+ depending on how much enhancements there are, but aside from equipment, the only one we've really seen is the blue one and the white one. So I'm just gonna give it a C. Trailblazer. Oh, this is an actual reprint. Oh, thank you, thank you. Wait, in the S's? What do you mean in the S's? All right, Mutiny is next. Single red for a sorcery. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another target creature that player controls. This card is bad. There was a, I forget when, I think it was in Dark Ascension, there was a like expensive card. It was like 3 in a red, I think, for like target, or maybe, oh, I think it was maybe 6 mana. It was like target creature an opponent controls fights another target creature that player controls. And I think people like lost their mind about that card, and it was so unplayable. Now it was expensive for sure, but there's so much setup cost. You need them to have two creatures. One of them has to like have power to kill the other creature, and you have to want to kill that creature. It's way too much. This is like a D. You should almost never play this card. Orazka Raptor, 2 red for a 3/4 dino. Grazing Whiptail, where's your reach? This is probably still pretty good. Yeah, I think there was also a rare that made everything fight, maybe. Whatever, it's bad. It's not a good card. Target, no. Oh, that was it. Yes, thank you. Dissension in the ranks, nice. Orazka Raptor is pretty good. That's like a pretty overstated creature for its cost. This is it's pretty good. I mean, and it has a relevant creature type. This is probably just a C. It might even be a C+. I agree, Ryan, but I think the setup cost is way too huge anyway. And the fact that it's sorcery speed, like you're not casting this until turn 6 or whatever anyway, probably. So being 1 mana doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's big for tempo plays, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Hyena Pack, thank you. But relevant creature type this time. I'm going to give it a C. It could be better. It could be worse. Shatter. Strictly sideboard. Stampeding Horncrest. 4 in a red for a 4/4 dino. Has haste as long as you control another dino. That could be pretty good. Still probably like a C-. Even if it always had haste, it wouldn't be that great. So it might even just be a D+. But even so, it's still just like, I mean, it's fine. Mutiny is like then going to be like a sorcery speed shock with huge upside, or huge setup cost, rather. Well, yeah, it doesn't have trample. That's pretty big. I think I'm just going to give this a C- for now. Sun Collared Raptor, 1 in a red for a 1/2 dino with trample. It gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Monster Sword was a mythic, exactly. I'm not crazy about this card. I think this card is pretty bad. It reminds me of, again, the card from original Innistrad. I'm forgetting the name, but it was 2 in a red for a 1/2 with, I think it had trample. And it had 1 in a red +2/+0. I think this is like a D+. I don't think the threat of activation is really there because it doesn't change the toughness. So I'm just going to give this a D. +3/+0 is a lot, but 3 mana is a lot. Swaggering Corsair, 2 in a red for a 2/2 with Raid, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you attack with a creature this turn. I like this card. I like 3 mana 3/3. I like 3 mana 3/3 with Raid. This seems quite good. I think this is a C+ probably. And Tillinolly's Crown, 1 in a red. Ooh, we got Nora. When it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to enchanted creature. Gets +3/+0 in trample. It doesn't boost toughness, and it doesn't give evasion. But if you put this on like a menace creature or a flying creature, geez. No, I think this card is good. Not boosting toughness is bad. So, like, red has the worst one like it had in the last set with swashbuckling. Not being able to go on X1s is bad. It does trigger enrage, which I think is less cute. I think you want this in blue, in red, blue, or red, black, and you're throwing this on a flyer, or you're throwing this on a menace creature, and you're just wrecking face. I'm going to start with C+, but this could be in the B range. So, what cards are in contention for top commons? Crown, Corsair, Bravado, and Bombard. Red didn't get, like, great 2-drops. Like, Trailblazer's good-ish, but that's it? Red doesn't have a 2-drop other than that card? Other than Trailblazer? Trailblazer might be better than I think it is. So maybe we go Bombard, Bravado. Corsair. Yeah, I think we're going Bombard 1, Bravado 2, Corsair 3. That's how I'm going to rank them. Let's move on to the uncommons. Starting off with Charging Tuscadon. 3 red for a 4/4 dino with trample. If it would deal combat damage to a player, it deals double that damage to that player instead. That's quite strong. I mean, a 5-mana 4/4 trample is good, and then the fact that it can trample over and deal double damage to your opponent, it's pretty gross. This like demands to be double blocked, which means it demands to be blown out by your opponent, to be blown out by a trick. I think this is a C+. I don't think it goes into B range for me yet. It could be a B-. I'm going to go C+ to start. Daring Buccaneer. Single red for a 2/2 human pirate. As an additional cost to cast Daring Buccaneer, reveal a pirate card from your hand or pay 2. Wait, Crown can kill opponents' X1s? It doesn't say enchant creature you control? Oh! So this could just be a removal spell for an X1. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Daring Buccaneer is a Ryan Sachs card. This card seems pretty strong to me. It's an uncommon, so you're not going to get a lot of them. But it does seem like there's a lot of 1-drops in the format. I think this is, like, fine. I think it's probably just a C, C-. But if you can suit it, if you get a bunch of enhancements, this card, and in a bunch of pirate decks, like, this is going to be a really good card. But I think C-. Is this easier to be a 1-mana 2/2 than Commander Speaker? Is this easier to be a 1-mana 2/2 than Commander Speaker? No? I don't think so. Because you have to have a pirate in your opening hand. You have to have like a critical mass of pirates, whereas Commander Speaker got triggered by islands too. Like if this said reveal a pirate or an island or a swamp, I think it's a C-. That's one way to think about it, Ryan. It's a Commander Speaker that goes in 2 decks instead of 1. But it's just looking like there's not as many great ways to suit things up at common. I haven't gotten to the equipment yet, so I don't know if there's a cutlass floating around. I don't know. Maybe I just don't want aggro to be good again, but it looks like it is going to be. Alright, Forerunner of the Empire. 3 in a red for a 1/3. Whoa, 4 mana for a 1/3 human soldier. Enters the battlefield, you may look for a dinosaur. Whenever a dino enters the battlefield under your control, you may have 400 that do 1 damage to each creature. No. No. This is bad. Like, this seems like it's even maybe just sideboard material against a vampire deck or an X1 deck. Yeah, this seems like a D. It might even just be a sideboard card. This thing combos with a poly. Building around Enrage mechanic? Maybe. Have we seen a ton of Enrage payoffs? I don't think so. At least at uncommon and common we haven't. We haven't gotten to green yet, so we'll see what green has to offer. We've seen like the life gain one in white, and we've seen the deal 2 damage in red. We'll see what green has to offer. Needle Tooth Raptor, 3 in a red for a 2/2. Oh, here we go. Enrage. When it is dealt damage, it deals 5 damage to target creature and opponent controls. There you go. This is a good card. This is a good card. This is going to be like a little mini game when this is on the battlefield, I think. Because like it's going to trade with something or make combat like really tough for your opponent. If you can ever find a way to like trigger this without killing it. Yeah, but what the worst that happens is that it's going to 1-for-1, right? You like chump block something and then kill something. That's the worst, I think. And I think it's, yeah, put the +3/+0 aura on this. That is ridiculous. This is like a B+, I think. Yeah, playing Ryle on it. Oh my god. I think this is a B+. This card seems very good to me. Pirate's Pillage. 3 in a red. As an additional cost to cast, discard a card, draw 2, and create 2 treasure. So it's Tormenting Voice, right? Just like Pirate's Prize was Divination. This is Tormenting Voice. You make 2 treasure. Card seems sweet. Card seems really sweet in a Dirtle deck. It makes 2 treasures, which is nice for Ascend, nice for control. This card is probably bad, though. Probably like a D+. Reckless Rage. Single red, instant, deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control, and 2 damage to target creature you control. 1 mana, instant speed, 4 damage to target creature you don't control, and then maybe you can trigger Raid, or you just like deal 2 damage to your own Sailor of Means or something. I think this is a good card. It requires some setup cost. But I think it's a setup cost you can get there with. I think I'm going to give it a B-. Respond to your opponent's removal? Yeah. It's so cheap. Another aura. See red. 1 in a red. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and has first strike. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with the creature this turn, sacrifice see red. I like this a lot less in the Curiosity one, but this is still probably gross and still probably a B-. Shake the Foundations. 2 in a red. Deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Draw a card. Ryan Sachs Memorial card right here. You can't trade with it probably, but it feels like if your opponent has a removal spell, it's just going to die to it. Feels like it's very easy to get 2-for-1 once they untap, if they can deal with it. Whereas the blue one, I mean, you at least replace itself. I think it'll bring some of the things out of the killing, and while enraging them in range, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think Shake the Foundations is, because it had, for the pure reason that it says draw a card on it, is main deckable. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Juggernaut. But how main deckable? Like, this is gonna be nuts against Ryan. And I think this is a pretty good card. This is probably like a C. This is like a C. It's a little weaker than and enables Enrage, so you can build around it. I think it all shakes out to be like a C. Maybe it's like a C minus. I think this is main deckable and fine and better than like some filler Ds. Storm Fleet Swashbuckler, 1 and a red for a human pirate. Ascend has double strike as long as you have the city's blessing. Okay. Storm Fleet Swashbuckler. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Relevant creature type. Upside if the game goes long. I'm in. See? I just don't know how often it's going to be good. I think it's a C. Solid C. I don't think I'm going to push it up to C+. Right. Bear with upside dot format? Yeah, Jesus. Alright, it's time to rank the commons. Looking like Needletooth Raptor is my number 1 baby. And then between Reckless Rage and Sea Red, yeah, I'm going to have to give Sea Red the nod here. I feel like it's a B minus B because auras. But how often? I have no idea how often you're going to get Ascend. That's the thing I'm having trouble evaluating. I can bump it up to C+. You're all about Reckless Rage. I like this card. I think it's worse than Sea Red. So I'm going Needletooth Raptor 1, Sea Red number 2. All right, that's going to do it for the red review.